I started this week by finishing up the placement of my controls as well as making my controls red. I local oriented the arm and hand controls to be in line with the joints. I used an SC solver to create an IK handle for the clavicle and parented the shoulder control to that. I then moved on to the arm, creating an RP solver to create an IK handle, and then had this elbow control be a pull vector for the elbow. I then created attributes and SDKs for all the finger curls and spreads. I then parented each back controller to its matching back joint and continued up the neck to the head and then back down to the hips. I then created an RP solver in the legs for the ankle IK, and then an SC solver for the ball, and then an SC solver for the toe. I then created the RFL system that consists of a joint at the heel, toe, ball, and ankle. I then redirected the flow, having it go from heel to outer bank, inner bank before the toe. At this point, I parented the IKs underneath the RFL joints and then parent constraining matching controls to RFL joints. At this point, I probably should have managed the hierarchy of my controls, but I skipped that and moved on to skin binding. I typed in the *_bind and all the binding joints became selected. Shift selected my geometry and did a bind based on selected joints and closest in hierarchy. I then began to paint skin weights. My strategy for painting was to initially select the hips, influence, and flood the whole character. I then started painting sections from toes up to the leg, and then from the fingers to the clavicle. At this point, I mirrored the skin weights over to the other side. I then painted the head, neck, down the torso. I tried a couple different things to remove mental ray nodes, but the thing that ended up working was a line of code in the Mel script editor. The final thing I did was create a master control and manage the hierarchy of controls underneath it. There is one thing that concerns me with my project. For some reason, the fingers line up with the proxy geometry, but not with the skin-weighted geometry. And that is my update for the week. Thanks for any feedback.